Here is how you're going to level up emotionally, spiritually, and physically in 2025. First things first, you have to get a deeper relationship with God. It does not matter if you are more spiritual, more religious, or you don't believe in Jesus. You have to believe in a higher power in some type of capacity in your life. It is so important that you know that you are on this earth for a greater calling, a bigger purpose than yourself. Once you realize and know what your purpose is in life and who it is that you are supposed to be helping, what you are called to do, and how your gifts and your talents are going to change the world and leave a legacy behind, that's when you're going to get so clear on your direction and where you're supposed to be and where you want to be in life. I tell you that to say because before I got my relationship back with God, before I started praying and fasting and going to church and getting into my word, I was lost. Baby, I was a lost soul, honey. I was partying. I was drinking. I was spending time with people I had no business with. I was doing a lot of low vibrational hanging fruit things. And once I got a closer relationship with God and I got into my word for myself, not just going off based what they say in the pulpit or what the pastor say in the pulpit, like I actually picked up my Bible and started reading it for myself and started interpreting it for myself with prayer and supplication, completely transformed my life. Every day I wake up in the morning, before I even get out of bed, I pray with gratitude, thanking God for waking me up this morning, because there is so many things going on in life that could cause you to go home early to the Lord. Because sometimes people just do things they shouldn't do, and it can be very harmful and detrimental to you. So, getting closer with God is your number one task in 2025. You honestly don't even have to wait till 2025. You can start doing that today by picking up your Bible and reading it. If you don't have a Bible, you can use the Bible app on your phone. It's on every Play Store, Apple Store in the world. So don't be confused. Doesn't matter where you're watching this from. They have a Bible app on your phone. Okay? Secondly, the second thing that you want to do is you need to heal and work on building your emotional intelligence. So because you have been through trauma and you struggle with PTSD, you have anxiety, depression, borderline personality disorder, or bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia, or whatever is going on with you mentally and emotionally, that does not negate the fact that you can't have an amazing life. You can still have an amazing life by going to therapy, getting on medication, doing what it is that you need to do that your doctor and your therapist, your psychiatrist, your psychologist is telling you to do is going to improve your life. Even me, people think I'm so normal. Oh, you went to school to be a therapist. You have 6 years of college education. Your life is so perfect, blah, 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 blah. Baby, no. My life is nowhere near perfect. I had so much childhood trauma that I had to go to therapy for over 10 years just to heal those things. Okay? I would go to therapy, do it for a year or two, take a break, work on myself, do my self-love journey, healing journey, all those things, and then go back to therapy. And then I had to realize, because of my lack of emotional intelligence, I realized that I was perpetuating a cycle, living out the life of a trauma response, living in fight or flight mode all the time, high cortisol levels, not focused on getting to the deep-rooted issue of the problem. So therefore, it caused me to heal a lot slower, but there's no rush on healing, so don't worry about that. It caused me to heal a lot slower because I hadn't got to the root cause of the issues, because I wasn't honest with myself. So once I got into therapy, that completely changed. On top of me having a relationship with God, And then not only going to therapy, but getting on medication when I struggled with postpartum depression, when I went through PTSD, when I was struggling with my anxiety and having panic attacks, when I was having depression and I couldn't get out of bed for 2 or 3 days. Like when you're a mother, you can't go 2 or 3 days without getting out of bed because you're depressed. Your kids need you. So you got to put yourself in their perspective and say, my kids need me. I got to get out of myself. I got to get out of my emotions. And only emotional intelligence is going to get you there. Utilizing your coping skills, right? Doing things to help you get to a better place emotionally. And that's by using your breathing techniques, going to therapy, walking in nature, journaling, taking yourself on solo dates, spending time with yourself, enjoying your own company, learning how to stop looking for external validation outside of you and find that validation inside of yourself, learning how to love yourself unconditionally like God loves you. That is what's going to help you get to the place that you need to be, okay? Also, making sure that you're setting healthy boundaries. That's one of the things that I always struggled with because I grew up as a people pleaser because of the trauma that I experienced as a child. When you are a people pleaser, you're going to not want to set boundaries because you're afraid of conflict, okay? Setting boundaries means saying to yourself, saying to other people, no, I don't want to go to the club tonight because I don't want to. Well, why you don't want to go to the club? No is a complete sentence, and you have to leave it there. No, I'm not going to overextend myself to be there for everybody else and then leave nothing for myself or leave nothing for my kids. Because there's a lot of people out there, like even me, when I was in my 20s, I had no kids, but I was overextending myself for my friends, overextending myself for my job, overextending myself for my church. But then when I needed somebody to be there for me, because who checks on the strong friends, right? There was nobody in sight. So I had to stop overextending myself and have boundaries because of my lack of boundaries, because of my people-pleasing ways and my codependency. I kept overextending myself more and further than I needed to. And I had to learn how to reel that back and have boundaries. It's okay to be alone. Sometimes you don't want to say what you really feel because you don't want people to leave you or abandon you or reject you or whatever. But when you know that you're standing up for yourself, then that goes a lot further because how can you expect someone to respect you when you don't respect you? That don't make no sense. So it's like you have to have those boundaries now. You have to respect yourself now. So then other people will in turn respect you as well, right? So making sure that you're showing up for yourself. No matter what it is. If you say that you're going to set a goal for your life and you say these are the goals that I want to set for my life, then you have to show up every day doing something to get you to that goal. I set a goal for myself in 2024 that I wanted to move and get a new house, that I wanted to do coaching calls, that I wanted to do content creation, that I wanted to travel more. Every goal that I set for myself, and I always pray before I make my vision boards and before I choose my goals for the year. In December 2023, I made those goals. I had a vision board party, I think it was December 11th or December 12th. And I had a vision board party, right? And so you have to also remember, you believe in God. You know, in the Bible it says, write the vision, make it plain, right? Everything that I put on my vision board, I accomplished. And some of those things came faster than I expected. But it's like when you ask God for something, you got to be ready. That's why you got to be ready and be on go and be ready. So when I told God I wanted a new place, I didn't know how that was going to happen. But I knew I had saved enough money to be able to move, not realizing how much money I was actually going to really need. But I was able to make a way because God was able to make a way on the back end where I didn't see a way being made. So when my landlord came to me the day after Christmas and said I had to move and they would prefer for me to move by January 31st, I was like, what? You can't even give me 30 days. You need to give me a 60-day notice. This is insane. But you have to understand. And I was like, you know that I'm going through a divorce. You know I'm a single mom to 3 kids. Why would you give me a 30-day? Like, I was completely shocked. But not knowing in the background over here, God is already working something out. So guess what? I was able to move in those 30 days. I had the money, the $6,000 to pay for the deposit. I had the money to pay to buy furniture. I had to buy the furniture, like one check at a time, one deposit at a time. But because I had already been doing the things that I said I wanted to do, and I had already been working towards those steps, so I was already doing content creation. I was already making money from content creation. Not only that, I had started making more content, so then more money was rolling in within the next month. Because as you know, we start getting paid from our content creation the following month. It's like health insurance, like Medi-Cal or Medicaid. Like, you have to put in the work and do the work, and then they send you a reimbursement. Does that make sense? So basically, that's what you're doing with content creation. Like, you're putting in the work, you're doing all the stuff, and then you will finally see the return on your investment. So if you want to do your goals, you have to write that vision, make it plain, and start doing steps every day to do that. I can't sit there and pray and ask God, I want to be a content creator. I want to be able to help multiple people. I want to help more people than I see in my office with their healing, with their overcoming trauma, learning how to heal from their narcissistic parents or narcissistic relationships, how to break the cycle of abandonment and rejection. I can't say I want to do all these things, but I'm not getting up every day to put forth any effort to make that thing come to fruition. Because in the Bible, it says faith without works is dead. So if I'm not doing anything to get to that goal, then how am I going to do that? It's just like saying, like, oh, I want to go to the Maldives, but you never booked the flight. How you going to get there? How you going to get to the Maldives? Does that make sense? So it's very, very important that you not only do what you say that you're going to do, but you actually put forth the effort to do it. You can't say that you want to be emotionally healed and you want to heal from the trauma of your childhood, the trauma of your young adulthood, the trauma that you have been experiencing right now today in your 40s, 50s, or your 20s. But you're not going to therapy to get help for it. You're just like, I'm just going to look at TikTok. I'm just going to read this book, 5 pages in this book, and then I'm fine. No, you're not. You're masking the pain, and you're not putting forth the effort to completely heal that pain. And all you're going to do is just continue to perpetuate the same cycle. You're going to keep dating the same person, keep ending up in the same relationship with the same people with different faces. I only tell you that because I've been through that myself. So I only tell you what I know from my experience, as well as from experiences I've had working with clients one-on-one. Okay? The last thing that you want to do is, the first thing was spiritual. You're going to glow up with your spiritual connection with God. 2, you're going to heal and glow up with emotional well-being and your emotional intelligence. Lastly is your physical. You're going to glow up in 2025 with your physical by moving your body. You need to increase your water intake. If you do not have a 40-ounce tumbler like this, you need to get you one. I don't care who made it, what brand it is. You need to get you a 40-ounce tumbler. You need to start drinking your water every day. It's going to clear up your skin. If you guys saw me last year, you would have seen I had nothing but all these black marks on my face, acne all over. I still have acne, but black marks all here on my face, dark pigmentation here on my eyes. People thought I had like raccoon eyes. It was not only because of the emotional trauma that I was dealing with, the high cortisol levels and all those things. It was also because I wasn't drinking enough water. I wasn't moving my body enough. My goal is to walk 10,000 steps every day. Every day I guarantee myself that I'm going to hit 7,000 steps, and I do. I try to hit 10,000 steps every day. Sometimes I don't because I am exhausted and I am tired. But I don't make any excuses. I push myself to keep going. Do I make it to the gym every day? No. So that's why I got a walking pad in my living room so that I can walk on that every day. No excuses. It's cold outside. My kids don't want to go for a walk with me anymore because it's wintertime here in California. It rains a lot or it's cold. We live not too far from the mountains, so it gets a little colder here where we are. And then on the other side of us is the beach, so we get all the wind from the beach, so it gets a little cold here in the valley where we live. So no excuses. I still got to walk, right? So you still need to move your body. Drinking more water, moving your body, eating in a calorie deficit. That's very, very important. When I say eating in a calorie deficit, I mean I want you to be burning more fat than the fat you're eating. You already have so much fat on your body. So if you do intermittent fasting and you fast for 16 hours a day and don't have your first meal until 12 noon and have your last meal before 8 p.m. every day, your body is going to burn fat already on your body. On top of the fact, you're going to be pushing and pumping more endorphins in your body. You're going to be pumping more dopamine, more serotonin, all the things that make you feel good. And you're going to be able to start to shed weight faster than if you're working out in the gym for 2 hours a day. Just because your diet is 80% of what you do and your working out is 20%. So if you're eating a poor diet and you're eating fast food every day, you're going to stay with the acne. You're going to stay with the black marks. I started eating in a calorie deficit. I did it for 40 days. It took me 40 days to change my body from being addicted to sugar, being addicted to carbs, to no longer being addicted to that. I went from being pre-diabetic at almost 400 pounds to now I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I'm down to 348, and my goal is to get to 200 pounds. So one day at a time. But if I wasn't doing those things, if I wasn't showing up for my goals every day, right? Walking, eating properly, drinking my water, I wouldn't be able to see the movement on the scale, right? And you have to understand that losing weight is deeper than the scale. It's deeper than the numbers on the scale. Because someone who grew up with a binge eating disorder, because I found comfort in eating, because my emotions were so dysregulated as a child, because of all the childhood trauma that I was dealing with all of the childhood adversities that I witnessed and I experienced myself, I found myself finding comfort in food because that was something that I could control. I couldn't control nothing else going around me. I couldn't control my family. I couldn't control my friends. I couldn't control my family environment, my family dynamics. I couldn't control the childhood SA I was experiencing. I couldn't control the COC SA I was experiencing. Like, I couldn't control any of those things, but I could control what I put in my body. I could control what I eat, right? So, those are things that you need to think about. So think about, like, when I want to eat something because I feel sad or I feel emotional, journal instead. If you don't want to journal, pick up your phone and you don't want to write something down, pick up your phone. Voice record into your phone. That's journaling. Make a video. When I was going through my divorce and I was going through my healing journey, I started making videos for myself. And then I said, I bet you there's other people out there going through this, but they feel alone. So then I started taking my video recordings from my phone and putting them on TikTok. And that's how my page blew up, was because I was sharing my journey of the deep, deep, dark side of narcissistic abuse that people don't talk about. And so showing up for yourself can in turn help you to show up for the people in your life that you love. So that's why physical health is so important. Not only are you going to be walking every day, if possible, going to the gym, drinking your water every day, lowering down all that juice intake, lowering all that soda intake, drinking more water, okay? Less Starbucks. You going to Starbucks 3 times a day? Just go once a day or 3 times a week, okay? Because you can make a lot of those things, honestly, at home with less calories, less sugar, okay? Because one thing that you cannot get back is your health. You need to be healthy. That is the key to success. I see so many millionaires and billionaires talk about how being wealthy is actually having good health, okay? As a hospice social worker, I see people all the time who have tons of money, and the only thing they want to do is to be able to walk again. The only thing they want to be able to do is to get rid of the cancer. The only thing they want to be able to do is spend more time with their family but now they have this terminal illness and they can't. So that's why I say wellness is so important. Mental health is so important. Physical health is so important. Your spirituality is so important. The next thing you want to do for your physical aspect is you want to make sure that you're doing your skincare routine. The water is going to help you 1000%. The skincare routine is also going to help you. Since I turned 40, I noticed that here in my forehead, I get a lot of dry skin. I get a lot of dry skin here in my hair as well. So since I hit 40, so now that I'm drinking more water, I'm having less dry skin in my face, as well as the fact that I do my skincare routine in the morning, my skincare routine at night. I still haven't got a handle on the dry skin in my scalp, but I'm using like tea tree oils and different types of mask and moisturizers in my hair to help me with the dry skin, because it every 2 weeks it just gets out of control. So those are different things that you can do to help you with your skincare, is doing your skincare routine. You have to do a lot of trial and error, so I would recommend getting like travel size stuff at Ulta or Sephora or something like that before you get the big size, because you might buy something that you think that's going to work for you because you see it on TikTok, and then you get it and it doesn't work for your skin. It's breaking you out, it's making you peel, whatever, right? So just use things that work for you, because everybody's skin is different, right? It also plays a part in the diet that you're eating. Eating more foods that are not refined sugar or not processed carbs is really, really important. Eat more things that God has made naturally, like, natural meats, lean meats, vegetables, fruit, all those types of things are really, really good for you. Water. So think about those things as well, okay? The next thing you want to work on after skincare is going to be your oral hygiene. If you don't have a dentist, you need to find a dentist in your area to help you with your dental hygiene. As a binge eater, I used to eat so much candy at nighttime, ice cream, all types of stuff. I had so many cavities. I started 2 years ago going to the dentist, getting all this work done on my mouth. It has completely changed my health as well, because when you don't have the best teeth, or you don't have the best dental hygiene, it could cause a lot of heart problems. So it's very, very important that you keep your teeth in order. I also ended up getting aligners so that I can have clear braces on my teeth, and that has been a game changer for me, because I never really liked my smile. Even though I smile all the time, I never really liked my smile. I was very insecure about my teeth, because I wasn't very much insecure about the gap, but the fact that my teeth bucked out like this, like they're about to get you. So I was so happy to do that. Now, let me tell you, aligners are very painful. I didn't think they were going to be as painful as they were, but like every 2 weeks you have to change the aligner to another one. And baby, let me tell you, the first 2 days, your teeth hurt so bad, you don't want to eat nothing. You don't want to eat nothing. So you're honestly going to be involuntarily fasting for like 36 hours. So they don't tell you that when you get aligners, but you know me, I'm going to keep it real with you. Zuri Star going to keep it real with you every time. And baby, let me tell you, them aligners, they hurt, but they are so worth it. So worth it, okay? And the last thing that I want to say is, I think practicing something like meditation and yoga is not only going to be good for your physical well-being, but it's also going to be good for your spiritual well-being as well as your emotional well-being. It's going to help you to become more grounded with yourself, more patient with yourself, more patient with your family and friends, more patient with people at work, learning how to love yourself. Spending time with yourself has been a game changer for you. It's going to be a game changer for you. One of the things that I learned about myself during my emotional healing journey was when I was taking myself on those solo dates. I was like, girl, you are that girl. Like, you are amazing. Like, I was meeting all these people out and about, because, when you're out by yourself, you meet a lot of strangers. And I was just like, you are amazing. Like, when people ask me, like, what do you do? And where have you been? And places you've been and things you've done. And I was just like, wow, I have had an amazing life. I have had an amazing life. But when you are so trapped around like a whole aura of negativity, you don't even see all of those things. Like, you can't see past the fog. And so when you're living in like the flight or fight mode and you're trying to survive and you're trying to get through things, you can't even see past the fog and not realize how amazing your life has been. So one of the things that I am doing in 2025 that I suggest that you do is I'm going to get a jar. I want to get this jar. I'm probably going to go to Michael's and get a jar. And I want to get this jar. And I want to write on the jar, not on the jar, but on little papers that I put in the jar, right? And I probably will do like multicolors or something. I'm not sure yet. And I want to write on there every time something amazing happens, every time God does something amazing, every time something awesome happens for me or my kids or whatever. And I want to put it in the jar. And then at the end of the year, I want to go through like on New Year's Eve and open them up and read all the things on the jar. Read all the things in the jar, like all the papers. Because so many times we go through like 300 amazing things, and then we go through 7 or 8 bad things, and we only focus on those 7 or 8 bad things because some of those things were really, 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 really bad, and sometimes they outweigh the other things, and it makes you cloud your judgment about all the great things that have happened. And I don't want to do that. So I want to encourage you guys to do the same, is to focus on the good things. Yes, you want to know, like, this bad thing happened. This is how I'm going to navigate this. This is how I'm going to change this going forward. This is how I'm going to allow God to change things in my life and move forward. And I want you to know that life is so amazing on the other side of healing. I never would have thought I would make it here. I never would have thought. I thought the last attempt was going to be the last time and I was going to be gone. But I am so glad to still be here, be with y'all, teaching y'all how to heal, teaching y'all what has worked for me, what didn't work for me, what's going to help you get through the hard times. Because there's a plethora of things that work for some people that don't work for others. Like, a lot of my clients don't enjoy journaling. They just don't trust people around them. They're scared somebody's going to read their stuff, so they won't write it down. But they will do video memos because nobody has access to their phone because they have passwords on their phone. People like to do video recording so they can see the emotions on their face of what they're looking at, and then they put it in their hidden folder on their Apple or their iPhone, and nobody can see it. Why? Because it's double protected with multiple passwords. And that has been a game changer for so many people. So something that might work for you might not work for other people. Like, you might not feel comfortable going out and going on a solo date at a restaurant, but you might feel comfortable having a solo date at home, ordering DoorDash in, or going and pick up the food to go, and then coming to your house, setting out, get your little wine glasses, have some sparkling apple cider if you're an alcoholic like me and you don't drink liquor, or have some wine, or have water, or your favorite drink, or just get you some hot tea and drink that, whatever, right? And have your little date at home with your little Netflix and chill, or going to Michael's, getting a color by number, doing a paint night with nice, lovely jazz music, going to a comedy show or watching a comedy show. So you might have to start doing your solo dates at home and then building yourself up to get the courage to pour back into yourself, to feel more confident about yourself, to love yourself more, to enjoy your own company, that you won't care what other people think when you go out on a solo date to a restaurant. You can also go at lunchtime, because when you go to restaurants at lunchtime, you'll see a lot of people there eating solo because they're on their lunch break from work. So then you won't feel so awkward. Or you can always sit at the bar. If you need to work yourself up to that, then do that. Do what works best for you. I'm just here to teach you, give you all the tools that you need, and love on you and pour into you so that you don't get lost in this big, crazy world. If you love this content, I love that you would like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. If you are new here, I'm Zuri Star, your self-love healing coach, and I want you to know that no matter what you are going through, always remember that God is amazing.